Hello.
Hey, Chris, it's Kacey. How are you?
Hi, Kacey. I'm okay. How are you? I said I'm okay. How are you?
I'm pretty cool. I'm good. I actually didn't have work today. I just had school, so I just hang out with some friends because hanging out with friends is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I hung out with my friends a lot back in high school as well. I miss those days sometimes.
Well, what did you do with your friends back then?
Well, we hung around. We hung around at school. We hung around during the school time. I don't think we did much hanging out outside of the school time, though. But yeah, but we enjoyed each other's company, and it was good. And outside my friends over for my 18th birthday party, which is really nice.
Okay. I mean, I miss high school too, but I grew up. I got better
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
So
yeah,
tomorrow's the big day. I mean, shouldn't are you gonna get lots of sleep?
yeah. I'm gonna get plenty. Yeah, I'm gonna get plenty of sleep. That's no problem. That's no problem. I'm gonna get plenty of sleep.
Okay. So what are you gonna wear?
Yeah, I got my clothes picked out. I got my nice dress shirt. I wear a white T-shirt underneath it. Got my black pants picked out, and I got my blazer. And I'm not wearing the medallion.
Okay, but you're gonna wear a tie, right?
Yeah, I don't know where my tie is.
Do you know how to tie a tie? I mean, because you should really go get one. I mean, you should go buy one if you can.
Mm. Well, I'll think about that. Anyway, I do know how
Well,
to
you
tie a
should
tie.
because studies show that having a tie gets you points right off the bat.
Okay. Well, if I can find my tie, I will wear it.
Okay, well, you should because they make you look professional and you want to give, the best impression that you can.
Yep. Most certainly do. Yep.
I mean, haven't you ever watched The Office? Everyone wears ties there.
Mm. Yeah, I think we've established I haven't watched The Office.
I thought you said you watched a couple episodes. Oh well, must have misheard you.
Yeah.
And remember, breakfast is important. So what are you gonna have for breakfast before you go?
Yeah, gonna have a bowl of oatmeal, some milk with that.
You should definitely have some orange juice instead. Vitamin C will perk you up.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have some orange juice. We have some of that. Okay, yeah, so I have oatmeal. I have some oatmeal with orange juice.
So are you fully
Any?
prepared for the interview? Like certain questions they're gonna ask. I mean, have you Googled any of this? Because
Yeah,
you have to be prepared for any question.
yeah. I
I
feel
mean, like,
prepared.
okay, well, let's do a sample question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I'd like to think that in 5 years I'll be happily married and we'll have our with my wife and we'll have our daughter.
Well, they're not going to want to know about that. They're going to want to know about your professional life. I mean, that has nothing to do with a job. They don't care. How do you see yourself in? Where do you see yourself in 5 years professionally? I mean, like they're going to want you to talk about a career or something.
I never know how to answer that question professionally. I mean, my mind's blank.
Well, you're going to have to. That's a common question. They're going to ask that.
Yeah, that is a common question. Um,
I mean, you could always go the I think I want to be in management. Tell them you want to climb up the corporate ladder. You could tell them that you are working on a degree or something, or you're going to go back to school. I mean, you got to have something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Management. That sounds good. Yeah. I see myself in a management position.
Well, okay, so how are you going to phrase that to them? They're going to want you to elaborate on. You can't be too wordy, but you can't be too concise either.
Okay. Well. All right. Well, I see myself in a management position, and I'm doing a good job organizing it.
Well, just say that you want to see yourself progress in the company. I mean, you're going to have to say something like, I want to have more responsibility. I want to be able to do more. I feel that I can handle it.
Yeah. Okay. I see myself handling the selfish responsibilities in a management job at this company.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't want to suck up to them too much, but you got to know something about it. You got to know about how things work.
Yeah.
You just say, I would like to see myself progress at this company. I can see myself doing good things in the future. You don't want to be too, you want to keep it general.
Yeah.
You want to take on responsibilities and see yourself progress.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But you don't want to suck up and be like, oh, I love Target and I've always wanted to work at Target, because they're not going to believe you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a given. That would be a bad thing to say. Yeah. That's time. Yeah. I see myself, progressing up to like a management position,
Don't be general, be vague. Be like, I want to see myself progress inside this company, where I can take on more responsibilities.
I want to see myself progress in this company where I can take on more responsibilities.
Yes. Okay, now they're going to ask you something like, why did you leave your last job? What are you going to say for that?
Yeah. I was laid off for personal differences.
Okay, that's right. Kim told you to say that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And remember, if they ask you if you want this job or need this job, you say you want the job. You don't want to seem desperate.
Yeah, I want this job.
Yes. So they're going to ask you also, probably, what are your best skills that are going to apply to this job?
Well, I feel like I have good social skills. I have good physical strength. I have experience in computer upgrading and maintenance.
That's good. The computer would actually be good. You should definitely say that one.
Yeah, okay. I will say that one. The computer management, the computer upgrade, yeah.
Okay, but
And
they're going to
also,
ask you what's your major weaknesses. So what are you going to say with that? Because you want to be honest, but you don't want to be too honest.
Yeah, ask me what my weakness is.
Yes, what your weaknesses are.
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me think further about that.
Well, you're going to have to be quick on your feet in this interview, Chris. You don't want to act like everything's rehearsed.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even sure what. Weaknesses. Okay. I guess one thing, like if there's a point in between, there's a point where I'm not working. I'm like static.
So basically, you're going
I
to say sometimes you like routines.
oh, okay, yeah, oh, I never thought about that. Yeah, routines. Yeah, I'm a man of
Okay, then say
yeah, I'm a
something like you
man of
like to stick to one routine, but then say, but you would like to be more flexible.
okay, yeah, I would like to stick to a routine,
You like to
but I
stick
am
to routines,
flexible.
but no. You stick to routines too much, but you would like to learn to be flexible in the future.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's my yeah, that is my weakness. I do tend to stick to routines.
Right, but you want to
Yeah,
say that you're willing to work on that. Let's see, another common,
but I'm willing to be more flexible in the
yes,
future.
yes. You want to say you want to learn to. You want to let them know that you know that you need to learn things. But anyway, another common question is, do you prefer to work by yourself or with others?
I am willing. I sometimes sometimes I like working by myself, but I like working with others as well.
A good thing to say is that you generally do very well working in a group. However, you are very capable of taking on tasks by yourself.
Yeah, okay. I prefer working. Okay, well, generally I like working in a group, but I prefer taking on tasks by myself.
No, say you can work in a group. Say that you are very adept at working in a group, but you can also take on tasks by yourself.
I am adapted to working in a group, but I am capable of taking care of tasks by myself.
Yeah. Okay, and then they're going to ask you the most important thing, what salary are you expecting?
Well, they've already gave me the rate of $8.50 an hour.
Oh, okay, then you know that's already settled.
Yeah, that's already settled. Yeah, they told me. Yeah, she told me that over the phone. You know that they would pay me $8.50 an hour.
Okay, well, what hours are you going to say that you're going to work? Or did they already have that?
Yeah, there would be like 6 to 8 hours in a day.
Yep, that's a standard shift. So are you going part-time or full-time?
Yeah, they said to start me off part time.
Okay. And so I guess you're definitely going to be doing some weekend work in there because normally they won't even hire people. People won't work on the weekends or holidays.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, we'll work on the weekends.
Good.
Okay then. All right, let me see. All right, in reference to the where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, yeah, I'd like to think that I like to think that I am. I like to see myself building up more, building up in strength, and also taking in more responsibilities. Is that right? I'm not sure that's right to the first half of that.
Say it again.
Yeah, I say I see myself going up in the company and
Mhm.
taking in more responsibilities.
If you say you want to progress in the company, that sounds a lot more professional and it sounds
Yeah,
like you know what you're talking about.
I want to. Yeah, I want. Yeah, I see myself progressing in the company and taking
Yes.
more responsibilities.
Yes, that's good. Let's see. The one thing they're going to ask you is, what have you learned from your past jobs?
Mm. Yeah, I have learned. I have learned some ins and outs. I've learned some socialization skills. Mm. I've learned how much. I have learned how much heavy weight I can take. Mm.
Okay, they're not going to really care about, say, okay, you learned how to be more sociable and you learned the ins and outs of a working environment.
Okay, yeah. I learned the ins and outs of a working environment.
Yes. Okay,
I,
another question they're going to ask you is, um, also mention that you are good with dealing with customers as well as fixing their problems efficiently. Um, and another question they're going to ask is usually, how do you think your education has prepared you for this position?
my education has prepared me with technological experiences.
Okay, well, if you're just stalking, how is that going to help you?
If I'm, yeah. Well, my education has prepared me with good organization skills and a general understanding on how things are supposed to be put in what order, and to follow such order.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's actually good. It keeps you organized, and that's actually pretty good.
Okay.
So hopefully you do really well.
I'll do my best anyway.
Well, I think with all the prepping Kim and I gave you, you're going to be really good. That's going to be good. Just remember to sound professional, but you don't want to be too personal.
Yeah. Professional, but not too personal. Yep.
Oh, and smile. Smile a lot, but not a very big smile. You just want to seem friendly and approachable.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem. I intend to smile.
Okay. Well, let's say that they some interviews they'll ask you to do a role play to see how you handle problems within your um, your fellow employees as well as a customer. Did you want to try one like with a like you can pretend to be a Target associate and I can pretend to be a customer?
Yeah. Okay. But just to let you know, in the application I filled out online, they had questions upon such situations.
I know, but on paper is a lot different than it is when you're there.
Or rather, would you say on screen? Because I did this on it did the thing online.
I know, but those are just the screen people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's
Well.
still written
Okay.
word.
Yeah. Okay. Well. All right. Well, let's go through a couple.
Okay.
All right.
Let me uh let's see here. Okay. You are in customer service and okay, you're in customer service and I'm coming
Huh?
up to your line. Okay, I just got to your line. What's the first thing you say? And then we'll go ahead and go.
Okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. How may I help you?
I want a refund. Where's your manager?
Okay. Well, let's see, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Well, let's just say you bought a blender. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I see your return. I see you. All right. You returning your blender, ma'am. Was there something wrong with the blender?
Just get the manager. I want to speak to a manager. You are not important enough. I need a manager.
Well, ma'am, I am a customer service rep here, and I can certainly I can certainly
Well,
issue a
what can
refund.
you do to help me with this?
Uh,
I
simply
just want a
enough.
refund. I want my cash back.
All right, ma'am. Well, do you have the receipt?
No, of course I don't. I just want this to be taken back.
All right, ma'am. Well, we will certainly take it back, and I'll scan it in, and I'll give you a refund. Yeah. So yeah, I scanned in, make sure we actually sell that.
Actually, Chris, you're not going to be able to do that because most associates aren't going to be able to. You're going to have to be able to take care of these people right now because the correct thing to do is to get them to explain the situation, try to calm them down, let them know they're important to you, but then you are going to have to get a manager because you're not going to have the access to refund it. And most places will only give store credit if you don't have a receipt, and sometimes they won't even take it back at all. Though you did try to handle it very well.
Okay. All right. Well, I will. I mean, it's like I'm
They'll
thinking
go
in
over
comparison.
policies for you.
I'm sorry, what?
They'll go over their policies with you so that you'll be able to better do these, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, they'll go over their policies with me. Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking in reference to like I had to return a couple of things to Walmart, and that's pretty much what they did. They just took it and they scanned it in the computer, make sure what they have it, and the current price that comes up, and then they issued a refund.
Well, you're not going to be able to issue the refund. They're going to be able to. I mean, Walmart does that, not Target. Their policies are going to be a little different.
Really, there are different policies between Walmart and Target.
Yes, oh, every store has their own policy.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, they're different stores. They're not owned by the same company.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's just common sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe you should Google more things about Target before you go to bed tonight, so that, because they actually have their policies on their website. You should read up on those so you look informed.
Yeah. Read up on their policies. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's always a good idea to know exactly what you're going to be doing.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, well, let you go look those policies up, and I will talk to you tomorrow. So, good luck.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You take care and stay safe.
Okay, you too.
All right. Bye
All
now.
right, bye.